Welcome back to the Guangxi Sports Centre Gymnasium. Court 2 has been our sort of camp for the day, if you will. This is the night session, and you can see plenty of people still spilling in to catch a glimpse of what's unfolding here. It's just been a badminton bonanza from the start of the day, 11 o'clock local time. And you can see what's happened. Men's doubles went indeed, as all of the matches have so far, in the favour of Chinese Taipei. They've got a stranglehold over this one, and the 3-0 represents the absolute the tie concluded in their favour. We will be bringing you women's doubles and mixed doubles, of course we will, because although the match isn't live, it's just sort of courtesy, and we like to play all 5 matches in group stages. It's just the way things roll. But as you can see, Liao and Su with the win in the men's doubles in 40 minutes. The women's singles, Tai Tzu-Ying, the undisputed world #1. She was 2 points away from defeat, but came good in 3 close games against Chung Yan Yi. And in men's singles as well, Chu Tianchen, world #4, former world #3, came through 21-15 and 21-15 against a spirited resistance from Angerson Karlong, a man who recently, just a week or so ago in Auckland, beat Lin Dan, but to no avail in the end. Chu was simply too good on the day, and well, that ranking of 4 in the world, he really did justify that, you'd suggest. So on to our women's doubles next up. We're awaiting the walk-on of Wu Ti-jung and Pai Yu Po from Chinese Taipei, ranked 61 in the world. And, they take on YEUNG and YEUNG Na Ting from Hong Kong. Now, although they're the underdogs from Chinese Taipei, ranked 61 in the world in terms of ranking, they have had a previous head-to-head win over the Hong Kong players. I'll tell you more about that when they appear on the court. But for the moment, people's attention on court 2 has gone to various mobile devices. Many distracted by adjacent courts. There's just so much going on in this 5-courted hall. It's a 9,000-seater stadium, and well, it's been really cooking up nicely here, the atmosphere. Susan Taylor, the Australian umpire, leading the way. And behind her, the athletes, all 4 of them, for this women's doubles. They look a little bit more relaxed now, don't they? It's their first stepping on stage of the week for these 4. But of course, the match is kind of concluded, I guess you'd say, at 3-0. Playing for pride and dignity at the moment. So Wu Ti-jung with her hair in the ponytail there, with the pink shoes on, and Pai Yu Po, world ranked 61.
Black. You serve? Which court? This court? Who receive? When? Yeah.
Gets a little confusing, doesn't it, with all these long Asian names? But the umpires are used to this. Little housekeeping then undergone, and the warm-up begins. Ranked 39 in the world, Yuan Ting and her partner, but turning our attention to Pai Yu Po, 26 years old, from Taipei. Have been ranked 32 in the world. That was back in October 2015. That was with Su Ya-ching, who hasn't made the trip this time. Unusually, she's been a stalwart of their side for a long time, has Su, but not this time. So giving way to young bright lights. And her partner, Wu Ti-jung, 26 years old, 2 years younger. She's been as high as 17 in the world with the aforementioned Su Ya-ching. And one of their opponents in red, YEUNG, 24 years old, 39 in the world they are, have been as high as 35. I mentioned that before. That was back 4 years ago now, though. And her playing partner, YEUNG Na-ting. Youngest player on court at just 20 years of age. They have met once before, these two teams. That was back in March earlier this year at the Tongyung Kai Cup mixed team event. And I can inform you that Pei and Wu in blue came through in straight games, 21-17, 22-20. So advantage for the light blues.
Ready to play.
Hello to Susan Taylor for the second time. She was umpiring the women's singles. She was service judge, I stand corrected, in the Tai Tzu Ying and Chung Nyan Yi match earlier. So, what will unfold then in this women's doubles we're about to witness? These two, well, they made the quarterfinals of the Vietnam International Challenge back in April of this year. No other really heady results to report.
He is in. Thank you.
We've had 5 round of 16 showings. Other than that, there's been spattered amongst a couple of first-round losses as well. Their opponents, well, runners-up at the Singapore International. They won the India International Challenge, these two, back in April. Quarterfinals of the Thai Masters at the start of the year.
On my right,
They've won 4 matches. They've lost 8, the team in red.
Hong Kong represented by YEUNG, Ming. And on my left, Chinese Taipei, represented by Hayuko Wu-Ting-jung. Chinese Taipei to serve, Wu-Ting-jung to YEUNG Na-ting. Love all, play.
Women's doubles just about to begin. Rubber 4 between Chinese Taipei and Hong Kong. Day 1 from the Total BWF Sudirman Cup. Well, they are ranking favourites, the team in red. These two, the underdogs, ranked currently at 61 in the world. That said, they have been up a lot higher to 32 in the world, so should be quite an even match. But the team in blue have the solitary head-to-head lead earlier this year.
To love. Hold. 3 love. Service over. 1-3.
Well, to do well in an event like this, you need depth and breadth to your team in pretty much every department, because I can tell you this, Japan and China, as the top 2 seeds, have all of that and more. So if you want to dent those kind of teams, you need to be really secure in pretty much all 5 disciplines. And, you know, some would argue, what, ranked down at sort of 61 and 39 in the world, is that enough to really contest these kind of the very highest levels? Well, Chinese Taipei really take precedent in the conversation now, don't they? Having reached the 3-love threshold already in this tie. And, you know, looking at them,
6-1.
women's doubles is not exactly kind of their forte in terms of ranking, some would say. And that's doing no disrespect to these two, of course it's not. But, you know, if you really want to go deep, And semi-finals would be their goal, having reached quarter-finals before and being seeded 4th here. That's exactly what they'd aspire to. But that's well played. Both the light blues twinning well together. And needing to, because they're under the cosh of the scoreboard pressure already generated by the team in red.
Ladies and gentlemen, on court 5, the last game, men's double between Australia Sarah Singh, Gary Wong, against New Zealand of
Service over. 7-2.
Umpire Mai Lang Yan from Vietnam. Service judge Ho Long Hu, China.
Keen start from the
Service over.
YEUNG.
3-7.
Just over-pressing a little there, and Pei and Wu, grateful recipients of that unforced error. Oh, now that's a massive psychological boost to Chinese Taipei. Longest rally of the match by a long way, that one. That'll hurt Hong Kong, losing that one. 56 shots, as you can see in that graphic there. A lung buster. Well, both teams evidently pretty standout in defence, but it's tough to kill the shuttle out here, isn't it? Keeping on the front foot, bold and insistent. Well played. Nice dispatch from Wu Tijung there. Very well engineered from the back there from Pei Yu Po.
5-9.
And you do sense that from the Chinese Taipei that on occasions there's a little bit more bite in their attack, although they're trailing on the scoreboard at the moment. That said, though, that's bullying play from the youngest player on court, Yung Nang Ting.
Service over. 10.
He's 20 years old, and there's no emotional scar tissue there, is there? She's just absolutely going for it. Really enjoying her opening match here in the Total BWF Sudirman Cup.
Service over. 6-10. Service over. 11-6.
So mid-game interval then, 11 points to 6 in favour of YEUNG from Hong Kong after 7 minutes played.
人家不一定是第一个反应要去做分球的东西，做时间去把它拉后面。你要注意，你只要只是撞到一个杀完球，前面那个抓的跟得快，你一直分的话，另外一个跟得很快，所以另外一个人上去。可以的话就是上那个球撞那个，自己弹的让他一看。
Players on court.
Can they keep it up? The younger team,
YEUNG.
all players in their 20s, but young Na Ting has been
11-6.
quite standout as the young 20-year-old. Brave and pioneering around the net. There she is. She keep it up. Well, they'll be not feeling great about the way that they started and set the thermostat in this match. The team from Taipei, Pei and Wu. But hopefully, from their perspective, they can make amends.
8-12.
Again, she's at it in the front court. So quick. Those bright yellow shoes on. Those bright yellow shoes on. Again, she's at it in the front court. So not, don't they, and just rushed off court by a rampant young 20-year-old the other side of the net. YEUNG Na Ting really has played an outstanding match so far. Very few errors and very brave. Bold interceptions. Their scoreboard trickling along nicely now. That's good because these two have just looked a little bit toothless in their attack. They're pleased with that one, but they just need to be a little bit more gallant and aggressive.
Service over, 16-9. Play.
These two won in straight games, as I mentioned at the top of the programme, against and YEUNG last time they met earlier this year in March. That mixed team event.
Service over,
But they really are sort of wrestling with their opponents today. It's
16.
been a tough match for them. They've not really got stuck in so far. They just look a little bit sort of tentative somehow.
Service over, 17-10.
Ladies and gentlemen, on court one, the full game is women's double between China and
Well, that's been hands down from the lines judge, gesturing that it was in. We are going to have a challenge for the first time in the match because Pei Po, as the tallest player on court, immediately thrust her arm out wide as if to suggest that the shot was out. She wanted to go upstairs to challenge. That was her gesture. So we will indeed do just that as they're deep in conversation about how to turn this opening game around. Yeah, she was absolutely right. She had the best look on the court. Maybe the lines judge was obscured, to be fair to him or her.
Direction out.
Challenge successful.
Service over. Ladies on court.
So these two youngsters, clad in red, are very, very dangerous.
11-17.
Top 40 ranked, have been as high as 35 in the world. Future looks bright for them. Well done. Got it to the floor pretty quickly. Despite sterling defence from Pei.
18-11.
Well, that was an unusual miss because she had time on shuttle there, didn't she? And that was a sort of
18.
an embarrassed smile, having been in the driving seat at that point. But generally, the team from Hong Kong have been just that little bit more watertight and less errant. That was a kind of exception to the rule in the overall context of this game. Now, is that an in for these two? Can they haul that score deficit back? Two consecutive points for Chinese Taipei.
Service over. 19.
Yet to generate a run of 3 consecutive, though. The team in light blue, 2 has been their maximum. Whereas these two have had quite a few runs of 3. There she is again with that strong,
20.
powerful smash.
Game point, 13.
Yung Ting really has played a brilliant opening game, backed up well with her partner. Yung rather.
Service over. 14-20.
That's gone. So that means that the opening game will indeed go to the team from Hong Kong.
14.
And YEUNG secure the opener, 21 points to 14, 17 minutes played.
Pot 2, 20 seconds. Pot 2, 20 seconds.
Well, they've just been that little bit more dynamic, intense, less errant, the team from Hong Kong. They've showed
Second
good
game.
aggression, and the front court players
Level.
have been a lot more involved
Play.
than the other side of the net. Can they continue in that vein? Start of game 2 here. Hong Kong, a game to the good.
Fault.
Now, they will have been under instruction. How much advantage will it be? With the good coaching both teams have had,
Love.
what will be the effect? Good leave.
Service over. 1 all.
Well, it's becoming a familiar look, isn't it? A real pattern to this match emerging now as Chinese Taipei get on the front foot for a couple of opportunities in the point, but unable to put the point to bed because of the immaculate ability to turn around defensively from the Hong Kong duo here, who have been very, very watertight and patient as well. Suddenly, just over pressing a little.
3-1.
Wu Tijong, 26-year-old. So easily done, isn't it? When you just want to really put a little extra chili on the shot, finds the tape. This player, YEUNG, has been outstanding. She's owned the court, really. Very, very effective. And very brave in the front court, more often than not. Oh, that's a misjudgment, though. Great defense, lovely block
Service over. 2,
from Pei.
3.
Well, the benefit of the net, but you kind of sense that they're owed a little bit of luck there. There was a thick contact with the net, but it did spill the right way on, from their perspective. So deadlock in game 2. It's been a really watchable clash, this one. But one in just which you just leaves you sort of asking for more from the team in light blue, who at times have appeared just a little bit lightweight and a little too errant.
Service
And
over.
commendably, these two have taken advantage of exactly that.
4-3.
She's been feisty, hasn't she, Yeung?
Service over. 4-all.
Service over. 5-4.
Oh, well done.
6-4.
唞氣，唞氣，集中啊！一開波就打快，一定要快啊！記住啊！
Just that little bit better in this sort of driving situation to get the upper hand quickly. The Hong Kong team. Good leave there as well, and the misery continues for
7-4.
Chinese Taipei in this rubber anyhow, unusually not in the context of the overall tie, in which they lead 3-0. Got the momentum again, courtesy of the energy. She's like a little fireball, isn't she? Yeung Na Ting, this player on court, has got quite a presence on it. Just clarifying what's going to happen with the serve. Lucky break off the net for Taipei.
Service over. 5-8.
Oh, she's found that. Oh no, it's gone long. Beg your pardon. Spilt over the back line. Certainly was okay for width.
9-5.
And then I just caught a glimpse of the backline service judge with his backline judge with his arms apart. Beg your pardon. That's better. More potency in attack. Exactly what the doctor ordered.
6-9.
Using all of those languid limbs to dispatch and accelerate through the contact point. Well done, she's there again, reading the play. She's having a ball out here, isn't she? Enjoying her time on court. Rips the momentum back away from Chinese Taipei. signals to her opponent behind her back where she's going to serve. Changing it up with a little flicker.
11-6.
11-6, like in the first game when they got to the mid-game turn at 11-7. They're in the driving seat again, these two youngsters from Hong Kong. It all bodes well.
去邊線，再坐中間，知我講咩冇啊？唔好下下捉入乜嘢都中間，有陣時劈下邊線嘅效果好啲。OK， 知我講咩冇啊？繼續 keep 住咁樣，唔好做多餘嘅動作，繼續恢復嗰個打法，90秒嗰個大家快速推佢兩邊，快速推佢兩邊，慢慢啲啊，後場結合啲點殺中嘅話，你跌落係，因為佢哋嗰啲順風嘅，佢想等你發力嗰個唔好發力，機會好容易再起板，一定要耐心做好推兩邊啊，記住啊！ 搞食眼筋啊！對面啊，稍微開高少少，對面去調動你哋啊，搞食眼筋啊！開大啲起到板啊！加油啊！我當
11-6.
So we resume, and Chinese Taipei remain under the cosh from Hong Kong in this rubber. In contrast to the overall context of the tie, in which Chinese Taipei lead 3-0. But and Yun have done very, very well to remain positive despite the onslaught from their opponents.
Service over. 7-12.
You can sense that she's trying so desperately to win the net battle, isn't she, Pei Yu Po? It's been a lot more sort of intense in game two. There's just been a little bit too few and far between. And that was brave, stood up to that one.
9-12.
Can she really impose herself? She's the biggest, tallest player on court. Amazing turnaround from Hong Kong. They were really, really under pressure throughout that rally, and outstanding again from both of these two young ladies in red. Yung and Hale feel wounded by the loss of that rally. They almost put it to bed. Another long, grueling rally, 33 shots. Again, they're coming through on the right side of the big points, aren't they, these two? Just had that little bit more a lot of the time. Doing very, very well. Now, will age and experience eventually come good? No, not so. Again, they miss. Pei Yu Po has practiced as she's been in game two. It's just been a little too errant, rather like in game one. Well, they've put together some really pretty good results, have the team from Hong Kong in red and YEUNG. Runners up in Singapore International, won the India International Challenge event in April as well. Quarterfinals in the Thai Masters at the start of the year. And you feel that their ranking inside the top 40 is a fair reflection of that. Again, a run of 5 straight points for these two, who have just been really good at front running, to be fair. 32 minutes played, and you sense a stranglehold now for YEUNG and YEUNG. Setting sail for home.
18-9.
They've done their nation proud. Trailing love 3 in the overall context of the tie. To dig deep at this stage is really characterful.
Service over. 10-18. 11-18.
Chinese Taipei will have to go back to the drawing board, you'd imagine, about their women's doubles selection, perhaps. Perhaps these two have simply underperformed, but ranked at 61 in the world. Is that really going to cut it at the very highest levels? I don't know.
11.
But they certainly have the bolster of 2 top 4 singles players to bank on. And they, again, as they have done so often, came good today. And that does allow you a little bit more grace in the early stages of these group matches.
20, match point, 11.
Oh, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Game.
They got their opponents in the headlock early in this match, and they rode it all the way home, the momentum. YEUNG and YEUNG come through in straight games with a really solid display for 2 youngsters, 20 and 24 years old, respectively. They'll be delighted with that win. Inside 35 minutes, they come through.
Match won by Hong Kong.
And YEUNG
21-14,
won 21-14,
21-11.
21-11.